Potsdam is the capital and largest city of the German state of Brandenburg. It directly borders the German capital, Berlin, and is part of the Berlin-Brandenburg metropolitan region. It is situated on the river Havel some 25 kilometers southwest of Berlin's city center. Potsdam was a residence of the Prussian kings and the German Kaiser until 1918. Its planning embodied ideas of the Age of Enlightenment. Through a careful balance of architecture and landscape, Potsdam was intended as a picturesque, pastoral dream, which would remind its residents of their relationship with nature and reason. The city, which is over 1,000 years old, is widely known for its palaces, its lakes, and its overall historical and cultural significance. Landmarks include the parks and palaces of Sanssouci, Germany's largest World Heritage Site, as well as other palaces such as the Orangerie Palace, the New Palace, the Cäcilienhof Palace, or the Charlottenhof Palace. Potsdam was also the location of the significant Potsdamer Conference in 1945. The conference where the three heads of government of the USSR, the US, and the UK decided on the division of Germany following its surrender. A conference which defined Germany's history for the following 45 years. Babelsberg, in the southeastern part of Potsdam, was already by the 1930s the home of a major film production studio, and it has enjoyed success as an important center of European film production since the fall of the Berlin Wall. The film studio Babelsberg is the oldest large-scale film studio in the world. Potsdam developed into a center of science in Germany in the 19th century. Today, there are 3 public colleges, the University of Potsdam, and more than 30 research institutes in the city. The area was formed from a series of large moraines left after the last glacial period. Today, only 1/4 of the city is built up, the rest remaining as green space. There are about 20 lakes and rivers in and around Potsdam, such as the Havel, the Griebnitzsee, Templiner See, Tiefer See, Jungfernsee, Teltow Canal, Heiliger See, and Sacroer See. The highest point is the 114-meter-high Kleiner Ravensberg. Potsdam is divided into 7 historic city Bezirke and 9 new Stadtteile, which joined the city in 2003. The appearance of the city quarters is quite different. Those in the north and in the center consist mainly of historical buildings. The south of the city is dominated by larger areas of newer buildings. The city of Potsdam is divided into 34 Stadtteile, which are divided further into 84 statistical Bezirke. Today one distinguishes between the older parts of the city. These are the city center, the western and northern suburbs, Bornem, Bonstedt, Nedlitz, Potsdam South, Babelsberg, Drewitz, Stern and Kirchsteigfeld, and those communities incorporated after 1990 which have since 2003 become Stadtteil. These are Eche, Fahrland, Golm, Groß-Glieneck, Grabi, Marquardt, Neu-Fahrland, Satzkorn and Uetersparen. The new Stadtteile are located mainly in the north of the city. For the history of all incorporations, see the relevant section on incorporation and spin-offs. Structure with statistical numbering. Officially the climate is oceanic, more degraded by being far from the coast and to the east. But using the 1961 to 1990 normal and the 0 degrees Celsius isotherm, the city has a humid continental climate, which also shows a slight influence of the continent different from the climates predominantly influenced by the Atlantic Ocean. Low averages below freezing for almost all winter, causing snows that are frequent, and winters are cold, but not as stringent as inland locations or with greater influence from the same. Summer is also relatively warm with temperatures between 23 and 24 degrees Celsius. The heat waves being influenced by the UHI of Potsdam. The average winter high temperature is 3.5 degrees Celsius and a low of 12.7 degrees Celsius. The name, Potsdam, originally seems to have been Postupimi. A common theory is that it derives from an Old West Slavonic term meaning, beneath the oaks, i.e., the corrupted pod dubmi, Dubini. However, some question this explanation. The area around Potsdam shows signs of occupancy since the Bronze Age and was part of Magna Germania as described by Tacitus. After the great migrations of the Germanic peoples, Slavs moved in, and Potsdam was probably founded after the 7th century as a settlement of the Heveli tribe centered on a castle. It was first mentioned in a document in 993 as Postupimi, when Emperor Otto III gifted the territory to the Quedlinburg Abbey, then led by his aunt Matilda. By 1317, it was mentioned as a small town. It gained its town charter in 1345. In 1573, it was still a small market town of 2,000 inhabitants. Potsdam lost nearly half of its population due to the 30 Years' War, a continuous Hohenzollern possession since 1415. Potsdam became prominent when it was chosen in 1660 as the hunting residence of Frederick William I, Elector of Brandenburg. The core of the powerful